backfield. He'll have it after a catch. First and 10, that's deflected and picked off Mosley. He'll take it in.
Now, stiff arm, and he throws down the defender.
Stiff arms a crap out of Drake Kirkpatrick right there.
Going down again. That's Q. Ren Williams.
Fighting through contact, fighting through offensive line, beating a double team, multiple moves stacked into one, just a play of pure domination. This is actual film, this is actual football talk. It's a football show, we're supposed to talk football, not storylines. And you are listening to the 10th edition of Blewett's Blitz. I got a relatively fast podcast for you today. 15 plays of Henry Ruggs, who the Jets have been linked to the last couple of weeks. Yesterday, people were tweeting out that, the Jets are really eyeing him. Don't listen to anything. It's a week before the draft. Even if they were eyeing Ruggs, you think they would want that out there to the public? So when I hear reports like this, I almost think it's more of, okay, well, the Jets either want somebody to trade up for Ruggs, they don't like Ruggs, and they want Judy or Lamb, or they want a tackle, and like I said, they want somebody to trade up. So I don't look into any of it, so everybody's going crazy. Oh, Ruggs, what would he add? And all this stuff. Just chill out. So we got 15 plays of him just in case. To be honest, if he was a pick at 11, I would be a little bit underwhelmed. Just at that point, there's most likely going to be one of the 4 tackles available. If there's not, you try to trade down, and if you can't, well, I wouldn't even necessarily try to trade down because I would be fine with Judy or Lamb there, to be completely honest. If they take Ruggs over one of those guys, I'll definitely be disappointed, to be completely honest. Even though he would add, another speed element to this offense. And he could take a bubble screen 97 yards to the house. Even if you're running a bubble screen on the 3-yard line, that's might be an issue and a story for a different day. But we have 15 plays of Ruggs. Then we have, I think it's 24 plays of Chason, the outside linebacker from LSU, which I really only view as if the Jets were to trade down and they wanted an offensive tackle and for some reason they got screwed, one of the offensive tackles weren't there, they didn't like one of the receivers, and they wanted to take him, it's really a podcast. It's going to be a podcast just because I did it. It's going to end up being a podcast for whatever fan base gets, and I'll blast out to those fan bases. Other than that, I don't really think the Jets fans are going to be super interested. I feel like that's one that might get like 100 views, and that's really it. So doing that on Saturday. And then the mailbag on Monday, which we close the questioning to. If you're listening to this podcast, you're like, okay, I really want to get a question in, which you may not. You can tweet at me. You can email me at joe.blewett or joe.blewett, BLEWETT at jetsxfactor.com if you really want to get a question. We already have like 20 or so. So we kind of wanted to close it off, but like I said, if you want to get something in there, but that's with myself and Kyle Smith. And then Monday night, right after that, I'll be joining another Jets channel, YouTube channel. If you type in Jets 24-7, I'll be joining that YouTube broadcast or whatever you want to call them to break down some of the Jets free agent signings, some of the draft prospects, all that stuff. I think I'm joining for the whole 2-hour show, so I'll be doing that show from 8 to 10 on Monday. You can follow me on Twitter at JoeRB31. Blewett's Blitz on YouTube, podcast. Like I said, drop those ratings and reviews. I really appreciate it. And that is really about it. To get into Henry Ruggs and his strengths and weaknesses before I pull up some of the film. Like I said, it's only 15 plays just because there's not a ton of stuff I could find that was either worth sharing or there just wasn't a ton of games out there. So the games I did watch: Auburn, LSU, Duke, South Carolina, New Mexico State. Again, it's cut up, so I don't know if every single play was in there, which definitely wasn't actually. 5'11", 188, 4.27 speed. Obviously, ridiculous athlete, top-end speed. In his strengths, I put loosens defense, top-end speed. Smooth considering speed, tracks ball well, good double moves, solid hands, tough runner, can take any touch to the house, yak ability, kick return, punt return ability, contact balance, acceleration, vision, catches ball outside of frame, speed through breaks, lateral quickness, shows different releases, commonly short strides, crossovers, hesitations, foot fires, could be deadly on crossing routes versus man coverage, stopping ability at his speed. Weaknesses: size, could struggle with jump balls, contested catches, inconsistent versus press coverage, wasted steps in routes. Can he hold line in NFL? Is a question for me. Doesn't defeat arms of of cornerbacks consistently. Body catches too often, shows ability in route running, but still needs work. Would like to see more diversity in releases, willing to bow routes out and bow. Needs to attack leverage blind spots. Okay, so that's his strengths and weaknesses that I listed. Let me pull up some of his plays. Again, 15 plays of him, so relatively short. If they do end up drafting him, which to be completely honest, I kind of doubt, I'll do my best to find whatever. Hopefully somebody will put it out there or whatever, because like every other couple of days, something else gets out there. Like now on YouTube, you could find some pass sets from Mekhi Becton that weren't out there. So I already did the Mekhi Becton review, so I'm not going to go back and do that and put up another show. But if the Jets were to draft Mekhi Becton now, I could go back, talk about it a little bit, and then be able to bring up plays that we didn't previously see. One of my concerns with the Ruggs, and he's on the top right there, right? One of my concerns with him, just in his own offense, he was the number 3 target. You had Judy. I forget who number 6 is, top of my head right now. And then it was Ruggs, and I thought number 6, again, I'm blanking on his name. I thought he was super impressive, but the fact that he was the third option, and a lot of people say, oh, well, he had, only 40 receptions for 700 yards, whatever it was. But a lot of them went to the house, and his yards per catch, if he was a really, really legit receiver, wouldn't they target him more? Wouldn't he get more touches? So he was kind of like in a specialized role type deal where, listen, and he's not just a guy, and I said it based on his strengths and weaknesses, he's not just a guy who's a speed threat. He's not a John Ross. He offers more versatility than a Robbie Anderson. He has, like I said, the kick return, punt return ability. He could take a slant to the house, or Robbie Anderson. That was the funniest thing I heard about Robbie Anderson. Oh, well, just they should hit him more with yards after catch ability, or I mean like opportunities. Robbie Anderson couldn't cut. He wasn't agile, and the first tackle he came into, he would get tackled. Henry Ruggs, he has lateral quickness. He could juke you out. He could power through an arm tackle. Super quick. Like Robbie Anderson is not that type of player, so he offers some things that just pure speed threats don't offer. So top of the screen, short strides and foot fires them just to eat up some space. The cornerback goes back onto his toes and opens up, which against Ruggs, now you're going to have to sell out to go deep. So he's going to run full sprint. His eyes, it looks like the cornerback eyes are on the quarterback a little bit too long, to be completely honest. At this point, he needs to run and get contact with Ruggs. Ruggs, I can't see him on the top of the screen. Breaks back his route, catches the ball. This second part of this I really do like. So he just outrun this guy to the sideline, and then he gives number 13 a hesitation. So you see how 13 is working at a higher angle right here. Ruggs is going to raise his left foot, and it's going to change number 13's angle. So 13 thinks he's going over top. Okay, he's going to hesitate. He's going to cut inside, whatever he's going to do. Changes his angle, and he gears down, and then Ruggs sprints right past him. So I'll play that in full speed. Top short stride, that's fine. Gets inside. Looks like he leans into the cornerback a little bit. A little hesitation right here, and gets right past him for the touchdown. So nice yak ability right there for sure with that high knee to freeze that DB a little bit. 2, he's on the bottom right here. I said route meh. Okay, yeah. So with Ruggs here, so he's just running an out, and it looks like they just want like a high low right here from the running back breaking out to the flat, and then Ruggs into the end zone. The thing with Ruggs is right here, I don't like how he runs this route. He needs to do more on the route stem for me, or cut it a little bit shorter, because this cornerback opens up, and the corner is really allowing him the outside right here. So regardless if he wants to get depth, he should get depth after he crosses that receiver, the corner up. So if he really wants to push and get depth, get across him here, push into him, lean into him, and then break outside. But Ruggs runs he gets too vertical, and then he's just going to cut right into him. And he doesn't make a strong cut. He's kind of cutting off of his right foot to get outside. So it's not a sharp break. As you can see, like I said, it's a really rounded break at the top right here. He doesn't do anything to defeat the hands. and then the route is shut down. So if he was to come up, here, plant hard off the right, head fake inside, plant off the left, like a little rocker, and then break outside, defeat the arms, then he has the outside. Or if he was to just, to stem him a little bit tighter up, cross him over, and then break outside. Either whatever you want to do, he doesn't do enough here to defeat the arms. So he just runs right into the guy's arms and makes a really rounded break that's not really that impressive. So like I said, he has ability in his route running to grow on, but it's not like he's like a great route runner to me really at all. I think he's a decent route runner, and that could be good enough for a guy who is as fast as he is, because he has the ability that Judy, who has good top end speed. I saw somebody say he has elite speed. He does not. But he has the ability where he's going to get guys to open up a little bit sooner because he runs a 4.27. Like he's a blazer. So he's going to get some more leniency in his routes, but you still have to run good routes, especially in the red zone where you don't have that threat of being over top. So guys are going to be able to squat on you a little bit. How are you going to defeat the hands? How are you going to stem them to make them take false steps? So he is on the top right here, and it ends up being a good route because of the top. He gives him like a little bit of the foot fire, like hesitation, stabs inside. So for me here, he doesn't do enough to threaten him. He doesn't really close a lot of ground. That cornerback is pretty comfortable right now. He's leaning a little bit backwards, but he doesn't shoot his hands. He doesn't angle off his hips to the inside or to the outside, so he doesn't really do much here to threaten him. There's not a really violent head fake. There's not a really violent rocker or stab outside. So the cornerback is able to stay over top. And then look where he starts. He starts at the top of the numbers, and he bows his route out really far to the sideline. Again, college just might work. In the NFL, the guy's going to work at a harder angle to stay over top of you. He's going to get his hands on you, and he's going to run you right out of bounds. That sideline is cornerback's greatest friend on these routes that are by the top of the numbers, bottom of the numbers. Obviously, depending on the coverage, if it's cover 3, you're not going to fight hard for outside leverage. Maybe if it's cover 2 and you're trying to get trail, you could do things like that. But that's just, like, again, a story for a different day. So Bose's route out too far for me right here. And him and a quarterback have some good timing where the quarterback and the receiver are knowing that this guy's going to try to fight hard to get over top. You'd see Ruggs look back at the quarterback. He's expecting the ball. He stops. The corner looks back for the ball. Push by, which again helps him with his break. Using that momentum against the push, and it also pushes the corner deeper down the field. Catches the ball on the sideline, and he steps out right here, but he's able to catch the ball on the sideline right here, and he pivots his foot out of bounds. So not a great route stem. I like the top of it using his hands and using the push by, but the route again it worked. Will that work in the NFL in that scenario? Most likely not. He is the top receiver right here. Really similar scenario where use another little quick pumps his arms, foot fire, just runs his feet. Again, not really doing much to threaten the corner. Eat up some more ground, take some more aggressive stabs inside. Shuffle release outside, stab inside, get outside, shuffle release inside, dead, like do something, but just foot firing in place isn't really the best option. Now, if they're a little bit farther off, like if they're squatting, if they're playing like catch technique, and you're going to close ground, then foot fire, it really gets guys kind of jumpy. But when you're just foot firing off of the line, if you're not using it properly, it doesn't really work. I like to see foot fires close a little bit of ground, but not necessarily in place at the snap, if that makes sense. So he foot fires, again, starts from the top of the numbers and bows his route out. Good NFL corners are gonna squeeze him to the sideline, choke that route off, and he's gonna be out of bounds. The corner doesn't do that. He gets his hand on. Again, same time with him in the corner, quarterback, push by, stops, hand catch, and then is able to break inside for an extra, 5, 10, 10-ish yards. So Some good, some bad for Ruggs for me there. 15, better release off of the line of scrimmage. Okay, so let's see what this is. He is on the bottom. Yeah, bottom. Okay. So this is where I say, like, this is okay. So now he's not on the line of scrimmage. If he was on the line of scrimmage and foot fired, I wouldn't really like it. But he's in a closed ground, which is he's going to get the corner to go on his. He doesn't even really go on his heels a little bit. So good job by the corner staying patient right there. The bad job by the corner is angling his hips off outside and not getting hands on. But that's, again, story for a different day. So skip towards him, foot fire, more aggressive. You can see there's more aggressive body mechanics right here with the head fake outside, stab outside. The corner angles off, hops outside. Ruggs left arm over, punch through, and breaks inside on the drag. Now, with this personally, I would like to see him fight to stack him a little bit more, get a little bit more vertical, and then break inside, because my problem with this is if the quarterback, I don't know how exactly Alabama designed this route, but if he was to get the ball right here and that guy is right on his hip, which he's not necessarily, but if he had better makeup speed, he'd be right on his hip, and he tackles him. So I would like to see him push a little bit more depth right here and then break near or closer to the first down marker. The quarterback gets sacked, so it doesn't really matter. But bring up the next play. Play number 6 of 15. You have Ruggs to the bottom. Okay. So this is a better release for me. Again, he foot fires, but when he foot fires, he closes more ground. So he's not foot firing in place, which doesn't really threaten him. Either you want to close a little bit of ground with that foot fire, close a little bit of ground, and he crossovers. So you're going to see that the closes ground, plant off the right, which he's giving the illusion he's breaking outside. He plants off the left, aggressively to the outside on the right, head fake, and then he gets inside. So he makes the corner jump a little bit outside right here. So foot fire into a crossover. Breaks on a slant, good break with the peak technique, and gets inside. Now the quarterback, depending on the middle of the field coverage, he'd have to float it over the top because the corner is playing in trail at this point. So he didn't need to float over the top, so I can't see the rest of the coverage. But good release from Ruggs right there. Play number 7, contact balance, alter route. Okay, so sorry about that. So he is the top, as you can see him circled. Again, okay, so there's not much to this is just showing the ability for Yak. He runs a drag. He's on the backside. He runs a drag of run a mesh concept against what looks like a zone coverage, but mesh concept. I don't know if it's mesh sit. I don't know what it is. Mesh. He gets hit. And he does have to alter, and sorry if it's a little bit grainy right here, but it's the best I can do. He runs a little bit more shallow as he sees the guy in that intermediate zone. Catches the ball, turns it right upfield. He obviously sees this defender taking an angle over top. He's going to plant that right foot hard into the ground, duck his head. He ends up spinning off of the contact, which again, contact bounce, he's willing to do that for a guy who's even a little bit smaller. He has that good contact bounce. He has some decent power, and is able to fight for an extra 2 yards after that second tackle to nearly get the first down on 1st and 10, putting them at 2nd inches, which is a really good scenario to come in. That's where you see your shot plays and things like that on 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1. Because you should be confident in your offense. You could pick up 2-3 yards, 1 yard, or inches on 3rd down. Here, he's going to be to the top of the screen, needs to defeat arms. Okay, so I don't really have a problem. The release right here isn't too bad. Again, he covers a little bit more ground before he foot fires. And he's running it's even hard. If he's running a stop, foot fire, break outside, then inside, I would be fine with him just breaking inside, running full speed, getting this guy to open his hips and turn around the field with him, and then break because he has decent breaks, but he foot fires, gives him a head fake inside, then outside. So the guy jumps outside where he wants to go. So he sets him up outside when he wants to break outside. So I'd definitely like to see him set him up a little bit more inside right here. Comes back inside, gets the guy's hand into his chest. So he was trying to fake inside, fake outside, then break upfield. That's fine with me. Like it's a little bit too much movement. If you're going to do that, which he does a fine job of, if he's trying to get inside, he opens the guy's hips up, but you got to be ready for that punch. And that's like a containment punch, slingshot. So if you're going to get beat outside as a corner and the guy's breaking back inside, you're going to use that hand to turn your hips. So they call it like a slingshot. So you want to get your hand on. He does not defeat that hand. And the guy is able to just basically hug him hug him. So I'm fine with the foot fire, fake inside to outside to inside. So there's a lot of movement right there. He gets the guy where he wants him. That's okay with me. Defeat that inside arm. Chop that down, punch through it, wipe it, do whatever you got to do, but defeat that inside arm. He does not defeat the inside arm. Guy stays over top, gets hands on, and he completely shuts that route down. So some good, some bad. Play 9. Ruggs house call. Okay. I think it's just on a slant at the top of the screen. Yeah. Not much to break down with the route. I'm completely fine with the break. You probably like to see that dry foot a little bit more inside of his frame, to be completely honest. It is a little bit rounded. That's the only slight criticism. Catches the ball, hands catch. Judy, again, I talked about him last episode. He's a willing blocker, and him blocking on this play sets him up for how many yards this was, 70, 80, 60, doesn't matter. So good job by Judy, staying with the play. He knows he can get targeted, gets his hands on, and just slows that guy down enough for Ruggs to pass him. So good job by Judy. I'll play at full speed from the beginning, but I did want to point out Judy on this play with a nice block. Ruggs is really good at finding his lanes, and obviously 4.27 speed, you're not going to catch him from behind. There's just no way. So that's the ability you have. Now, does it happen in the NFL as often as it happened in Alabama? No, but it will happen in the NFL. If you pair him up with the right offensive coordinator. Ruggs is the number 3 right here of the trips. So they're just running him on a speed out underneath of Judy, who's going to run a pick route. He's gonna alter his stem a little bit inside, try to pick this guy off. They're showing corners over, man. He's probably man on this tight end, and he's over top. That's probably what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. So I think it's not a huge deal because they are picking him. I think he could have pushed a little bit more vertically, more aggressively, because here you could see that he's breaking outside. He starts to lean, and he's cutting off of his inside foot. NFL corners are going to immediately flash their eyes to the outside. They're going to see Judy with his eyes on him, and they're going to either go over top or underneath and figure out how to defeat that. You can see that the corner is not very good. He's not seeing that he's really, really leaning into that break before he even makes it. So his eyes are staying inside. Again, a little bit of a criticism. Like to see a sharper break. Would like to see him push a little bit more vertically and threaten this guy to really make him open up, and really not to even necessarily open up, but to keep his eyes off of Judy. Again, when you're seeing this body lean, he's going to cut outside, or he's at least giving the illusion that he's cutting outside. So you got to check this, especially when you have one. They shouldn't be playing on the same level. You don't want guys playing the same level, because if they were both break up and run like a short scissors concept, they're gonna cut into each other. So you always want cornerbacks playing on different levels. So they say 1, 2, 3, or just mix it up a little bit. But the corners, he obviously needs to play this better. But it's just a little criticism I have. He's almost able to get on it. Again, NFL cornerback, a little bit quicker recognition, probably gets on it. So just a slight criticism. hands catch. And this is where I just want to show the contact balance and the willingness to drop his helmet. He's not a guy who's just going to run out of bounds. He's not a guy who's going to lose contact as soon as his legs are taken out. They both drop their shoulder. Judy, because of momentum, his momentum's going forward. His momentum's going forward. The corner gets a little bit lower, so his momentum pops over top of him, and that's why he gets shot up in the air. Good balance right here. Right arm in the ground. The ball looks pretty secure. It might be a little bit loose right there. Yeah, it looks a little bit loose right there, to be honest, but it's not. Obviously nobody punches it out, but that's a lot of football with not a big enough of your area of your arm around it. Oh, okay. Well, no. So it's not that his forearm is wrapped around the front, but you got to watch obviously this if you're in traffic, because a guy in the NFL, they see you falling like this, and they know they don't have to put a lot of good tackling form into you to bring you down. They're going to come in and club the crap out of that ball. So you just got to watch that a little bit. But in this scenario, it's hard to just hold onto the ball tight right here completely. So good jobs, fighting for extra yards right here. 2, 3, an extra 4-ish, 5 yards. So like I said, I just wanted to show his that he's willing to do this. He's just run out of bounds, drops his shoulder again, pops up. Ball's a tiny bit loose, but he maintains his balance and runs for an extra few yards right there. So good job. Play 14. Good route. All right, let's look what this is. He is stacked. Okay, so yeah, this is where his quickness comes in. So this is a route where Judy completely screws with this guy, which I already talked about. And I think Judy gets us on the out route, if I'm not mistaken. So they're running like I would call this a wolf concept, where you have the inside running a short out, and the outside running a deeper corner or deeper out route. So I call that a wolf concept. Sorry, I was looking at Judy for a second. So Ruggs releases off the line with speed, shoulders down, attacks inside. He's hoping to get the receiver, the cornerback to open up to either to weave inside or open up inside, angle his hips off inside. Foot fires at the top. Quick little foot fire. Again, the break could be sharper here, in my opinion, just at least is what it's going to look like. You can see how he's cutting off his foot that's behind him. When your hips are going in front of you and your foot's behind you and you're trying to cut, it's going to round it out. So I like to see, even though which I'm fine with, because what he's doing is he's shortening, if you want to call it short strides or foot fire, he's breaking down so he could cut faster. You don't want to be running full speed into a break, speed outs, things like that, sure. But he's breaking down to make a sharper cut. But I want to see his foot farther in front of him if he's going to use that speed cut. So he cuts off of it, and you can see how it's really far behind his body. So your foot's pushing you here, but your body's turning from out here. Again, it's just body mechanics. It's going to be rounded. I can guarantee that's rounded, which it is. You can see. Oh, okay. So I'm mistaken. So he's not running an out route. He's running like a flag. So that's my fault. I thought that was an out route. So again, he wants to get outside, so he's going to break inside. Give him a little bit of a foot fire. I don't know if he defeats the outside arm, but he's running like that flag corner. Cuts up field and past. And again, he has, and this is just a smash variation, by the way, the wolf. It's just set up a little bit differently. He has plenty of room on this guy. Obviously, Judy gets the ball, makes a nice hand catch, and gets out of bounds, but decent route. Again, my fault for thinking that was an out. I do thousands of clips of film a year, so sometimes I'll forget and not be able to recall. Top of the screen comes in an orbit motion. They fake the inside zone, hit him on the orbit screen, and he just takes upfield. Again, does he get this in the NFL with guys who are quicker and take better angles? Maybe not, but this is what happened in college. Sorry for that quick rewind. But orbit motion hit him on the screen. And this is the ability that he has that the other guys don't have, where he has game-breaking speed. He starts running full speed, and you're behind him. There's no way. You're not going to catch a 4-2 guy in the open field if you're not taking really good angles. So obviously, great play by him just in terms of his speed. They set him up really well to get him space. Good blocks by that one receiver on the outside. Didn't look at whose number that is. Stretch release, hands ready. Okay, so you have him on the top. This corner is leaning on his toes. He is going to press him. He's going to jam him. I can almost guarantee this if he does. Yeah, so he's jumping forward. Two-handed punch, again with corners. Two-handed punch that's going to lock your hips. So he's going to take that right foot and plant outside with a little head fake, stretch release. The thing with me here is I like to see him a little bit more ready to defeat the hands. You can see how he gets like partially caught with those hands. Just be a little bit more ready and a little bit more aggressive with your hands right there. He is able to knock them away, but he doesn't knock them away before he gets contacted. So that makes him bow it out. So yeah, honestly, that's not a good break. I'm okay with the stretch release, but when you're stretch releasing the guy is that close, you got to make sure you're ready with the hands. You could even, if the guy's that ready to jam you, you could split release, bring that left foot back, bring your body back. So he's reaching more. Now he's leaning harder on his hands. You defeat those hands. Now he's really screwed. When you stretch release, you're stepping up to him a little bit. You're kind of staying in place and stepping up to him with your back foot. So you have to be super ready for those hands. He's not ready for the hands. He gets caught. And then you're going to see the corner actually look back to the quarterback, who takes like that one-step drop handoff after the play action, and is looking right for Ruggs. He gets on the hip pocket, breaks inside with him because he knows he's coming. He has a point of contact, is able to punch that left arm through and deflect that ball. So stretch release, got to be more ready for the hands. I would like to see a split release there. But again, just needs to work on the stretch on the press releases. So Ruggs, crease, stagger, alter speed. Okay, so he's on the top, and they're going to run I believe this is a hitch inside. He's running a dig, and he's running whether you want to call it a seam, a bender, divide. Some people call bender routes, divider routes. They're running Tampa 2. And this cloud corner ends up carrying him inside, but I like how he alters his speed right here. I'll just show it. And he's not running full speed right there. You could tell. Breaks inside. Now he runs full speed. So that's really all I'm showing right there, is that he knows how to alter his speed to lull guys to sleep a little bit. When you're running full speed, guys are ready to react. They know something's coming. But when you're going to like lull them to sleep a little bit right here, which one, it allows for a sharper break because he's running at 85% speed instead of 100% speed. So I like the altered speed into this route. Again, it works in certain situations and then in the other situations it doesn't. So you have to be careful, because when you're gearing down like this and your shoulders are up, guys might expect to cut in the NFL. So he probably breaks into the altered speed a little bit too soon. Again, he's not jogging, but he's running 80% speed right here for a good 10 yards. NFL, that's gonna be a giveaway that he's running an inside or outside break. So I would like to see him threaten him deep vertically more, and then alter his speed, 5 yards before the break instead of 10 yards. Again, just little criticisms. Breaks inside, starts to run full speed, catches the ball, and is able to turn upfield for an extra 10 or so yards. Last play. Route speed, okay. Top of the screen. All right, so this is a blown coverage. Looks like it's supposed to be cover 3. You're gonna have one of these guys into the curl to flat. This guy in the curl to flat, deep third. One of those should be deep thirds. This guy's gonna be hook seam, hook. However you define your route, people call hook seams, hook curl, whatever. So they blow their coverage. They're just running double verticals. seam 9, whatever. I like that he is stemming the corner to the outside. You could see that the corner tries to maintain outside leverage, which it looks like he's supposed to be the corner who breaks to the deep third. Stems him outside again with an altered route speed. He's not running full speed right here. Shoulders over his toes, and then he lightens up a little bit. That widens the corner out, breaks inside off the right, and gets vertical. The ball does go to him right here. It's a little bit of an under throw. How far is that throw? Okay, so from the 30, Crow steps into it. 20, 50-yard throw. Okay, so it's a 55-yard throw. You'd like to see him probably hit this a little bit earlier, to be honest. If Tua's – Tua. Right here, throw this ball. So in my opinion, just of watching quarterback play, at this point, you know that Judy is going to break inside on the seam bender. He's going to hold the safety, and even if there's no way the safety is getting over to here, if you throw that ball on a line. So at this point, he's more than even. So he's gone. So Tua needs to throw that ball a little bit sooner. I would say he should start to throw this now. Well, he doesn't look at it now. Here, he needs to load up right now. He delays it just a little bit, which makes this ball float up in the air a little bit more. He's able to catch the ball, avoid that first guy, but he does fall down. So I like the altered route speed, sends him to the outside, breaks inside on the vertical to get past him because he sends him outside. So that's it for Ruggs. Again, I don't think he's going to be the option for the Jets, but hopefully for whatever fan base gets him, you'll check it out. I'll send it to you, to everybody else. Chase on next, 23 plays of Chase on. Again, Jets fans, you might not care about Chase on, but if you want to, I haven't done an outside linebacker in a little bit on this channel, which I said was obviously TOJ Filmer before. Did a ton of guys last year. I did Burns, I did Josh Allen, I did Bosa, I did who else was in that class? There's another guy, Ja'Kai Polite. I did a bunch. So if you just want to learn a little bit about outside linebackers or just kind of refresh your memory a little bit, you could watch. If not, it is what it is. I'm not expecting a ton of Jets fans to watch that show, but that's going to be Saturday. That's 23 plays. And Monday, like I said, will be the mailbag show with Kyle Smith. We're going to do like an off-season mailbag type deal. Ask him what his thoughts are about the offseason. Then we'll get into the mailbag questions, and then Monday nights we'll be live streaming. Again, it's 8 to 10 o'clock. Jets. It's Jets. Let me see what it is. Again, I don't want to give out the wrong thing. I think it's Jets Talk 24/7. Yeah, Jets Talk 24/7. So it's like a live mailbag. So if you are bored, you're in quarantine, and this show comes out a little bit later that night, or maybe even, the mailbag will come out Tuesday, 8 o'clock, Jets Talk 24/7 on YouTube. Type that in, and I'll be talking with that guy. You can go onto the stream and ask us questions. We'll see. Again, so type that in. Be there on Monday. Support that channel. He's a decent amount of followers, and then hopefully we'll grab a few for this channel. But appreciate you guys listening. I will see you again in 2 days, and I'll be interacting with everybody on Twitter. Stop with the mock drafts.